Welcome back to my channel. So today I'm doing a more different type of video. So I'm going to be going through my entire physical Switch games collection. All these, I have like about 20 or so games. So what I'll do is I'm going to go through each one of these in alphabetical order. I'm going to just talk about them, my experiences with the game, like maybe how much I played it. And just as I was looking through these, I just noticed some interesting things on the cases. So I also want to talk about the game cases a bit, because I think there's actually some interesting stuff, and like some art and like different text that no one really ever reads probably, so it's pretty interesting. So yeah, I'll talk about each one of these. Mostly just like, this isn't scripted at all, so I'll just be talking about whatever I feel like, how much I played the games. If you know the channel, it's kind of like Scott's Stash, we're just like looking at something and just like talking about something. So yeah, let's get into my collection. Alright, so first of all, starting off, Animal Crossing New Horizons. So, yeah, what I'll just be doing, I'm looking at the case and just talking about the game. So yeah, this is just a very nostalgic game for me. It's really nice art, like, you see all the characters, water. I think in the back, you can't see it on here, but it's like the Harv's Island. And of course, through the back, all the stuff like craft and customize your world, there's tons of crafting mechanics and stuff. That's always really cool. Seasons, every Animal Crossing game is like that. Gather friends. I did a lot of online play early in the days. That was pretty fun, especially the early COVID days. And the inside art here again, just some nice art. Dodo Airlines, great airline. 3/20/2020. That's the launch day. I actually got it on that day. I remember I pre-ordered it from Walmart. I got it around like 4 p.m. and I got obsessed with that, especially that was right at the beginning of like COVID, so that was like a really big thing. I played like so much back then. Like, this is like my most played like Switch game ever. I think over years I've played it like 400 hours or so. So yeah, definitely a really fun game. I don't play it as much I don't play it as much because it gets a little boring after a while. But I've been meaning to go back to and play it some more, and it's just overall just a really great game. So yeah, so of course it says the Deserted Island Getaway Package, the Ultimate Island Escape. Yeah, I always really liked the idea of going on an island, especially because like, you're basically completely on your own. You can customize everything like you want. There's just so many options. Terraforming also is great. Build tools and furniture from island resources. Some people didn't like the crafting mechanics, and it could get a bit annoying, but I thought it was pretty fun. It just added more replayability, and like when you're getting materials and stuff, it gave all your materials more use, so you can make tools and all that stuff, Customize your home and island. That also was just a really big part of it. I love all the customization, so many options for your house to just place things outside, terraforming. And then celebrate the seasons. I love the seasons in Animal Crossing. I think I gotta say winter is my favorite, especially with Christmas and all that. Just the snow in Animal Crossing is so pretty. Seasons unfold in real time and reveal new events and activities. I remember the first year, 2020, it was so exciting. Every holiday update, it was so big. Like, I think the first one was Bunny Day, but that one wasn't the best because, Bunny Day, there's way too many eggs everywhere. Like, it was actually insane. Like, there were just so many eggs for some reason, but that was still fun. Zipper T Bunny is an interesting character. And I don't remember if there was much throughout the summer. I think in August they had a bunch of like fireworks every Sunday, so that was kind of cool. And then of course, that holiday season, Halloween, that was really fun, going around trick-or-treating with your villagers and Jack and getting a bunch of cool items. I decorated my whole island. That was really fun. And then Christmas, Toy Day, of course, was great. Again, the snow, just so pretty, and just so much. The holidays is probably just like the most fun part of Animal Crossing. I always go back, especially for like New Year's and Christmas and stuff. New Year's is always fun because the countdown, you can see the clock. Like, I used to try to do that every year, and that's just a lot of fun. Gather friends for island adventures, local or online play. Yeah, as I said, definitely did some multiplayer early on, but after that, I just kind of prefer just to play solo. I, in general, just prefer single player games and just playing by myself, making my island, whatever. But I did occasionally like go to some other islands. I did trading. I did Nokazon for a while, like trading items and stuff like that. That was fun. And then party player, where like you can play in like the same Switch, the same island. I never really liked that just because it felt like too limiting, and I like just having my own island and stuff. So yeah. And then here it says, so yeah, only one island can be saved per console, which that was always a little weird. It didn't really make that much sense. I guess they wanted you to be on the same island, so if you had different users, you could play in the same island and do different things, but not everyone liked that. I don't know, that was just kind of just a strange thing. It just seemed kind of unnecessary for Nintendo, to be honest, but it was whatever. And of course, amiibo compatible, so yeah, I never really got much of like official Animal Crossing amiibo, but what I did is like I got amiibo cards and I basically just made my own amiibo cards. That was pretty fun early on. I just purchased a whole bunch of like NFC cards and I just did that so I could invite a bunch of villagers, and especially later on with Happy Home Paradise, like so I could invite them and then of course, you know, build their houses. Happy Home Paradise was pretty fun. Like I haven't played that in quite a while, but that was definitely some pretty good DLC. I'd definitely say it was worth it, you know. Quite a bit of content. The 2.0 update also was really good. They had so much stuff for that. I just wish they would have kept updating it because I feel like there's still some potential they could have done, but overall, still just a really good game. So yeah, that's about it for this one. Something I found interesting, most of the cases, it has like this thing that says it's covered by Nintendo's warranty, and you can actually request a printed copy if you contact customer service, so it's kind of weird. I don't know if anyone's ever done that, but it's kind of interesting. I never noticed that was there before, so weird. Next game, Atari 50. So this is just a really great collection. I haven't played this that much, but it's really cool. Like, it has a ton of like classic Atari games, of course. Like, this is probably like the best collection in terms of just like, you know, it's not just the games. There's like interviews. There's like a whole timeline. Like, it's all connected. Like, it's really cool. Like, and they remade like old like unreleased games and stuff, and like there's just a really big game selection in general. Like, really cool. It says there's a 90-day limited warranty. It's kind of funny. It says this game disc from Atari Inc., but well, it's clearly not a disc, so they must just reuse that for all copies. That's kind of funny. Like, come on, it's a cartridge. So yeah, it said this is definitely pretty true. Interactive journey through video game history, more than 100 playable games. Is true. I mean, some of the Atari games, you know, aren't super big games, but there's still quite a lot of good content here, and it is pretty interactive. You know, like you kind of go throughout and you like unlock some stuff. It's just really cool and really creative. A bunch of 7 Atari platforms, so it has quite a big span of stuff, and 6 new games, and they completed Sword Quest Airworld. That was really cool. I always just found it interesting, like the whole competition of like those 4 games. That's just like really interesting, and it just sucks that they never finished it because the video game crashed, but it just sounded like really interesting, and it's so cool they actually like finished it. So that's really cool. You can play that here. And yeah, Explorer, this is also what I was talking about. It's just really interactive, like seamless experience. You can just like go through the timeline and just see everything and really get a good idea of Atari as a company and all the games they made. So it's pretty cool. Next up, Donkey Kong Country Tropical Freeze. Probably one of the best 2D platformers ever, if I'm being honest. Again, this isn't one I have played a ton, but this is definitely just a really great game. Just the graphics, the music, it's just, the gameplay is just really fun. Like just playing with Donkey Kong, or you can play the new funky mode, you know, it's kind of an easy mode, but it's still fun. You know, Diddy Kong, but it's just a really fun game. I really need to play it more. I have not beaten it. I've played like a few worlds. I got this like a few months ago, maybe last year, but I had heard about the hype of this. Like, people said, oh, it's one of the best games ever. Great 2D platformer. And I finally ended up picking it up. And yeah, I'd say it lives up to its hype. Really good game. Also, I didn't notice there's a reversible cover here with Funky Kong, so that's kind of cool. I like how some games have reversible covers, especially if they still have the spine here, so never noticed that before. Yeah, definitely a really good game. The gameplay is very unique, you know, there's different, like, the boss fights are cool, like, you can ride the animals and stuff, all that stuff. Definitely glad this came to Switch. In terms of, like, there's not much added content, you know, funky mode, like, that's really it. There's nothing else besides that, but for most people who didn't have a Wii U, like, it's a great deal. Amazing game, pretty much, so. Yeah, the unique abilities, that's definitely pretty fun. You know, you can switch throughout them. Donkey Kong is like the regular. He has like the barrel. Then she can float a bit. I also really like using his stick. You can like do that to get over like spikes and stuff. So like that's pretty powerful, and like you can switch between them and find barrels and, you know, switch characters. That's pretty cool. Yeah, funky mode, it's just like an easy mode. I used it a few times and it's quite useful. It's kind of cool, you know, the surfboard, you can just kind of go in spikes and stuff. You can, I guess, swim better. You can hover, so it's pretty cool. Not really necessary, but yeah. And apparently this has co-op play. I've never actually tried that, but that sounds interesting. Five Nights at Freddy's Core Collection. So, yeah, Five Nights at Freddy's, or you could call it FNAF, whatever. I got into this recently. I bought this like a month ago or so. Always had like some interest in the series just because I just find like animatronics really interesting, you know. I watched like Willy's Wonderland, you know. I've watched a lot of stuff on YouTube and just watched different like FNAF related stuff before, but I never really got the chance to play it before, so I finally picked this up. Pretty good deal. I think it was about like 20-30 bucks, and it has, of course, the first 4 games in sister location, so pretty good deal, you know, the original stuff. I've only played the original so far. It's actually really good. I'd say like the most spooky part is just in like the atmosphere, because you're just waiting and like, oh, when are they gonna attack? When are they gonna attack? And then they jump scare you. It's just a shock, and it just like, it freaked me out like the first few times I played it, you know. But definitely a pretty good game. Plus like the lore is crazy. I've watched a good amount of lore videos, but it's just very, very interesting, the lore, and like I'm glad I have this, and I'm definitely planning to play through the other games before the new Five Nights at Freddy's movie, because that should be interesting and fun, hopefully. So yeah, next up, Game Builder Garage. So yeah, it's a pretty cool concept. You know, basically you can like code, make your own games and stuff, and people have made like a lot of cool games through this. I picked this up around when it came out back in like 2021. I played it for like 5 hours or so, but I really haven't gone back to it, and I don't really have much reason to either. Like, it's fun, but like it's also just, I don't know, I don't really have the patience to make like a whole crazy game. Like some people can do that, and like I spend a little bit of time, you know, playing online creations and stuff, and there's just not that much to it, you know. The game's kind of basic. I mean, there's some cool stuff that people can make, of course, but this is not really enough to come back to here. Overall, it's a decent game. It's just kind of like, I guess it's good for like a beginner's like coding, you know. You have interest in like game design and stuff. This won't really teach you that much, but you can kind of get the hang of it, you know, putting like the blocks together, and you can make some pretty cool stuff. So for beginners, yeah, it's good, but there's just not much to come back to, so I don't really play the same one. Ghostbusters, a video game remastered. So this game is actually like really good. It's been quite a while since I played this. I got this around like August 2020, I think, somewhere around then. And it basically like follows the Ghostbusters movies and stuff. It has like almost all like the original voice actors, so definitely like the story is the most interesting part, and the gameplay is pretty fun too. Like of course you can zap things, you know, there's monsters to fight, and like just the whole story, it's just like really interesting, because like it's basically just a follow-up to Ghostbusters. If you love Ghostbusters, you're gonna love this. It's kind of like the Back to the Future Telltale game, sort of, but obviously, you know, less than that, because there's actually like more gameplay and stuff. But it's kind of in that way where it's like a follow-up, you know. If you love the original thing, you're probably gonna love this. So definitely a pretty fun game. Yeah, and plus it's like written from like the original writers and stuff, and like as it says, most of the original voices and stuff. And I'm pretty sure the original voice lines from like Harold Ramis, I think, like was recorded before he died, unfortunate, but it's just cool to have most of the original people in here. It really makes it feel authentic. So yeah, I definitely should go back to this sometime, and maybe I will, but yeah, really good game. So now, getting into my several Just Dance games. If you don't know, I'm a big Just Dance fan. I have all the mainline Just Dance games, not on Switch, obviously, but I have a bunch on Wii, like a ton on Wii, a few on Xbox 360, but always just been a big fan ever since, I don't know, quite a long time. But yeah, Just Dance 2020, this one's pretty good. Yeah, so I've played this about like 40 hours or so, and definitely a pretty good game. There's a good amount of tracks, you know. I played this quite a bit when I got it in 2019. That was just like really fun. Played it around like, yeah, 40 hours. New song from Frozen 2, mid. And the track list, looking back, not super great. Like, and, you know, it's just a bunch of pop songs. That's usually what it is, but it's not bad. High Hopes is kind of fun, you know. Some of these are decent. I don't care. It's fine, you know. Not really a big fan of most of these. Old Town Road, that I remember when that was popular, but overall, like, yeah, it's a pretty good game. Yeah. Oh, I did really love Bangarang. You know, I used to be a really big Skrillex fan back in the day. You know, very nostalgic, and love EDM and stuff. Just Dance Unlimited, also really good. Except they don't really support that anymore. I mean, they do. Like, you can still buy it, but there's like a new subscription service, which I'll get to in a bit. But yeah, this is still a really good game. I love Just Dance. So another Just Dance one, 2021. So honestly, this one is kind of killed the franchise for me. Like, it caused me to lose interest for like quite a long time. Honestly, it's not bad. It's just really mid. Again, it's just a bunch of songs. Just like they're fine. Dance Monkey, why that song sucks, but like the songs they're fine. But it was just like the same thing again, and just like nothing. It just didn't interest me really. Like, I remember I played this. I didn't really play it that much either. Blinding Lights is cool. That's a good one. But, like, I played this a bit, and I just, like, stopped playing Just Dance for, like, quite a while. Like, over a year or something. Yeah, this game, it's just not that fun, to be honest. It's still good. I mean, it's Just Dance. You can't really go wrong with any of them. You know, if you like the songs, you know, it's just everything about it, the dances, the choreography, is just not that interesting, really. And the next episode, Just Dance 2022, actually really good. So this basically got me back into the series. So around the time when 2023 was about to come out in like a month or so, I actually got this like about a month before 2023 came out, because like I looked into the track list and was like, okay, this track list seems pretty cool actually. And I was like really surprised. Like, this really good game. Like, the maps in this game are just very good. There's a lot of good songs that are just like great. Mood, I love that one. That's just really catchy and really fun to dance to. You have Believer by Imagine Dragons. I love the band. Not really a big fan of Believer, but that was still nice to have. Again, Just Dance Unlimited. Tons of songs. That's always nice. You're playing ones from past games. Of course, I kind of got rid of that later, which I'll get to in a bit. Yeah, and actually my favorite tracks on this aren't really even on here at all. Like, the maps in this one are just like so good. I mean, there's one like Small Town Boy, of course. That one's from the 80s. Really fun, like really catchy song. The vibes of that, like, it really captures the 80s vibes so well. Great song. Mr. Blue Sky, also amazing. Really great song, so catchy. And it's like entirely hand animated. It's like a panda and everything. Like, seriously impressive. Like, Mr. Blue Sky is like one of the best maps. Like, it's just fun to dance to, really. Like, the whole thing, it's just stop motion animated with like clay and stuff. Like, just so creative. Like, they finally, after 2021, which was kind of mid, just wasn't that interesting, like, they finally got it back and like really put a lot of effort in this one. Yeah, so really good game, and definitely glad that it's kind of got me back into the series, because yeah, I love Just Dance. So finally, the latest Just Dance. This one's actually doesn't have a cartridge in it because it is full game download, which is unfortunate because I like having the actual cartridges. But so basically what they did is they're going to like a live service kind of like fashion, because when you think about it, pretty much every game, it was just a new track list, right? So if you think about it, it makes sense. Just have one base game, which is this, and every year they update with new song packs. They update along the way, adding new songs to the new subscription service, Just Dance Plus. There's a lot less songs, which sucks, because Just Dance Unlimited had a lot. But I have it, and it's still pretty good, and they're adding new ones to it, and there's some pretty good stuff in there, so I'd say it's still worth it. And also, like, yeah, so the maps, like, in this game, really good. There's a lot of really fun stuff, you know, pretty good variety, and they finally, of course, there's a lot of, like, pop and stuff, that's typical, but they added, like, some really good rock songs. Numb by Linkin Park, that's a great one, great song, just great map. And Bring Me to Life, also great one, love that one. And yeah, it's just a really good game. I love the song list, tons of fun ones, really good maps, just really creative, again, like 2022, but better pretty much. And yeah, so it's basically just one platform. They're always adding new stuff. They have like seasons and stuff now, so that's pretty cool. You know, so basically, like, it's just like a code, you know, you just download it, and then Just Dance Plus. So yeah, of course, you know, no cartridge included. Sucks, but understandable, because it's like a new platform. Bunch of like random stuff in here. I guess it doesn't matter if I show the download code, because I already downloaded it, but yeah, you know, some random stuff. I don't know what this is. I guess it's just showing you, yeah, immersive 3D worlds. It's not really 3D. I don't know what they're talking about, honestly, but I guess the maps are better, and like the backgrounds are very cool and stuff. And it also includes a free trial of that for some reason. And this thing, I don't know, kind of cool, I guess. I don't really care about Billie Eilish, but alright. But yeah, so definitely a really good game. Great maps, great songs. Some of the new features are cool, but then they also took away some features, like Happy Hour, like Just Dance Unlimited Happy Hour with like the online. So basically, you could just like, before you could just go online with a bunch of random people and like select songs and stuff. That was really fun. Now you can play with friends online, but they removed the other one. I don't really like to. They basically just like, if you're playing with people in your living room but online, I don't really like to do that, so I don't really care to do that. That kind of sucks. but like there's still improvements that could be made, but overall it's really good. Kirby and the Forgotten Land. So this is actually like a really great game. I always liked Kirby, but I never really got too deep into it. Fortunately, I do not know where the cartridge went. Very sad, but this is a very, very great game. Like, just the art design is great, the music, the levels, like 3D Kirby. It took long enough to finally get Kirby into 3D, but oh man, it is great. Like, oh, like basically like Super Mario Odyssey captures kind of. Like, you can turn into a bunch of stuff. Like, the boss fights are great. There's so many creative ideas in this game. Like, I'm so glad that they finally put Kirby into 3D because, you know, of course, Mario, a bunch of other franchises, they went in the 90s and, you know, they had that great stuff too, but Kirby's just always been like 2D. They haven't had like some side 3D mini games and stuff, but Kirby in 3D is great. Hopefully I can find the cartridge for this because I would like to replay this. Not a super long game, but it's just pure fun is how I describe it. It's basically like 3D World, but Kirby. And I could almost argue it's better. Not really better. I love 3D World too, but like it's around that same level. Like probably one of my favorite games ever. Really great. And then the other Kirby game I have, Kirby's Return to Dreamland Deluxe. Picked this up back when it came out this year, earlier in like February. So yeah, this is really good. Never played the original one on Wii, but I played this and I played most of it. Haven't beaten it, unfortunately. Didn't get the chance to, but I played like pretty much all of it in like co-op, and like it's really good multiplayer. Like it's very well designed for multiplayer, and just the levels are really good. The art design is great. The music is great. Like all like the backgrounds and like the characters, it looks great. Especially the water in the background. Nintendo makes such good looking water. The grass, like it's a beautiful looking game, seriously. And there's just a lot of cool things to do, you know. There's a helper that's pretty helpful if you need that. New copy abilities too. There's a lot of great copy abilities in this one. There's like the really big super abilities. Those are also super fun, of course. You know, basically destroy stuff. Like, yeah. Almost support up to 4 players. Yeah, very great for multiplayer. Mary Magdalene, it's like different mini games. That's also really fun. And of course, the Magdalene epilogue. I haven't actually played this, but I've heard it's pretty good. And you know, you go through it and you unlock stuff and get more powerful, and very fun game. But yeah, this is just a really great game and glad it got released. So next up, the masterpiece, Breath of the Wild. So yeah, this used to be my favorite game of all time. It's still amazing. And we'll get to which game is my new favorite game of all time soon. You can probably guess which one that is, but Breath of the Wild is just amazing. I picked this up around Black Friday 2019. I got my Switch in April 2019, but I got this for like $40, which great deal for this game. And it took me quite a while to beat it for some reason, but like I played through it more and more, and eventually like it took me till like mid 2022, like somewhere around early 2022, where I finally like got down, did the dungeons. I didn't even have that much left, but I finally beat it. And then after that, like in preparation for Tears of the Kingdom, I just played through it a lot. I like doing a bunch of shrines. Just exploring is so fun. You can go in like some random direction, and there's just so much to see. And like I've just played this one a ton, almost like 200 hours or so. I always had like some interest in the Zelda series, but I never really got into it. This one really got me into it. Like just the open world gameplay, it's just amazing. Like seriously, it's just so much fun. This art, oh beautiful. The art style of the game, the soundtrack too is so good. Like it's just immersive. Like you're just riding through and you have the piano music and all that stuff. And just like the village themes are amazing. I love those so much. Yeah, Calamity Ganon, there's just so much stuff to do. Amiibo also, I have like Amiibo cards, like really small ones that I bought off like Amazon. You can just scan it and just get like a ton of items. And Tears of the Kingdom 2, very useful. And also I'll also say the DLC also for this game, very good. Like there's the different like Master of the Sword, that took me a while to beat, but that was really fun. You know, you get hit once and then you die. And then of course there's all like the new shrines and stuff. And also like the Divine Beast. I definitely think from Tears of the Kingdom, they improved on a lot of stuff in this game, but like this was the original one that's kind of built off of, and it's still like an amazing game. I don't know if I go back to it. I still have not like 100% or anything. Of course, core XCs are kind of a pain, but I might go back to it eventually whenever I beat Tears of the Kingdom. But Tears of the Kingdom has so much content. I'll get to that in a bit. The next step is another Zelda game, Skyward Sword HD. So I picked this one up around when it came out in 2021. I wasn't a huge fan of it. It was pretty fun, but I never played it that much for some reason. I actually did really like the motion controls. I thought that was pretty cool, but also good. They added button controls, of course. Graphics is pretty good. Music is pretty good. Art style is pretty good. Overall, it's a pretty good game for sure. I just never really got into it. I only played around like 5 or so hours, meaning to go back to it, and I will eventually because it's a pretty good game. It doesn't really deserve the hate from what I've played. But yeah, just didn't really hook me, but still, Skyward Sword is still pretty good. Finally, best game of all time. I know it just came out like 2 months ago, but this is the greatest game ever made. I'm not kidding. Tears of the Kingdom is a masterpiece. Insane. Like, I've been playing it like so much. I need to get back to it. Been meaning to. But, like, all the new abilities, crazy. All the Zonai materials, insane. So much stuff you can do. Like, seriously, if you thought Breath of the Wild had a lot of content, which it did, because that you could just kind of walk anywhere. You'd find something. Everywhere you go, there's like 5 things. Like, ooh, I want to go to that shrine. Ooh, I want to go to that thing, and that thing, and that thing. And it's insane. And all the new mechanics, the abilities, like fuse, you can fuse like nearly any weapon together. So many combinations. I always liked weapon durability, because if the weapons didn't break, you could just use one weapon, and that would be overpowered. You would never use anything, so that's why it's there. But in this one, you can, of course, put them together. It doesn't completely solve it, but I really like it. You can make a bunch of different combinations, cool weapons. And of course, with Zonai, like, you can make so many cool vehicles and stuff. Haven't made the most crazy vehicles. People have made, like, insane things. So, like, it's seriously crazy, the amount of stuff you can do just to get around. Sky Island's also really cool. Not as big as, like, you would have thought from, like, the games, but, like, the Great Sky Island was really great, honestly. I really liked that. I just wandered around for like almost like 5 hours. That's just like the tutorial of the game too. There's just so much in there, like, and it's just beautiful. The clouds are beautiful. The funny thing is they don't really even mention the depths. Like, the depths are insane. Like, so much, like, in the entirety of Hyrule, like, it's pitch black. It's really like tough down there. There's a whole bunch of things to see. Like, it's just weird they didn't even market the depths at all, but like, that's just crazy. There's so much stuff down there. Tears of the Kingdom is just a masterpiece. Like, I feel like I could play it for like 1,000 hours and never get bored, because there's just so much great content. Actually, like, really insane. And I haven't played it for a little bit, but been meaning to get back into it once I play some more games, and it's so good. Mario Tennis Aces. So yeah, the Mario sports games on Switch, not the best. Like, this one, it's fine. I got this like around 2019 when I got my Switch, like, early on. And I have played it for a bit, but like, there's just not much to it. This is, from what I've heard, this is probably better than a lot of other Mario sports games because they have even less content. But like, this definitely seems like a massive improvement from the one on the Wii U, of course, you know, the meme one, because that had like hardly any content. But like, I don't know, this one, it was just disappointing. Like, I really haven't gone back to this since I got it, like, much. Like, it's just tennis game. There's, you know, some like abilities and stuff, some different characters. Like, it's fine, you know, like swing mode, you know, kind of just swing it around. That's kind of nice, I guess. I don't know, this is adventure mode. Play through that a little bit, not like a super big thing. Online matches, it's fine. Overall, like, it's not a bad game. I'd say it's probably still a good game, but like, there's just not a ton to it. I really can't think of any good reason to go back to this, honestly, and I haven't. So next up, Namco Museum Arcade Pack. This was also one I got early on in having my Switch. Pretty good. Also, I didn't notice before, but this is another reversible cover. You can see all the games here. Pretty cool. This is a pretty good collection. There's not a ton to it, but, you know, it has some classic Namco arcade games and stuff. Of course, like PacMan Championship Edition is kind of cool. Just regular PacMan, good to have. Dig Dug, classic. And, of course, Galaga. I haven't played the other games in here, but, like, just for Pac-Man, Dig Dug, Galaga alone, pretty good, and I definitely played those quite a bit early on. I haven't gone back to it too much, but, you know, classic, just really fun arcade games. I don't have much else to say. It's kind of cool, but yeah, it's pretty good. New Super Mario Bros. U Deluxe. I think I also got this one around 2019 or so. So it doesn't really deserve the hate. I still think it's a pretty good game, but I understand why people don't like it that much, because there was too much New Super Mario Bros. And it just didn't do enough to really differentiate itself. Like, it's just the graphics are kind of basic, you know, they look the same like everything else. Like, the gameplay is still really fun. Like, it's still really good platforming, like, the levels are designed pretty well. Like, I haven't beaten it, I haven't played it in quite a while, and to be honest, I don't really see myself going back to it, so maybe it's not a super great game. But also, New Super Luigi U is pretty cool, pretty creative. It's nice that that's included in the Deluxe edition. That's like shorter levels, but like faster time speed. And like overall, it's still a good game. But like, I'm really excited for Mario Wonder though, because finally, new art style, like a whole bunch of new ideas. Like that will be really exciting. Like you bet I will play that a lot. This one, it's fine. It doesn't deserve to be hated, but it's also not great, so it's fine. So another collection similar to the Namco Museum arcade pack I just showed off, PacMan Museum Plus, 14 games, pretty good. So basically you have like your own like virtual arcade in this one, which is a pretty cool idea. It's not like super advanced, you just kind of like can put a few stuff around, you can put like arcade cabinets, and guess what, it's a bunch of Pac-Man games. Pac-Man, you know, classic. I played some of these, you know, original Pac-Man classic, of course. It's different with Pac-Man Arrangement, Pac-Man 256 on mobile. That's kind of cool. Pac and Pal, I think one of them, Pac Rollers, something, I don't know. Some of them was like on the DS. Overall, like, it's a solid collection, you know. It's just Pac-Man, so you get what you expect, you know. It's a museum of Pac-Man. And like the extra elements, your virtual arcade, you can have wallpapers, figures, music, and more. Like, it's not super advanced, and it's not really necessary, but it's just kind of a cool feature, and it's a bunch of Pac-Man games. So if you really like Pac-Man, it's a good collection. Next up, getting into my Pokemon games, Pokemon Legends Arceus. So, yeah, this came out early 2022, picked it up around when it released. This is a really good game. This might be my favorite Pokemon game, because it really mixes up the formula. Like, basically just open world, pretty much. Like, there's the different zones. Like, you just kind of go out, and it's like different formula, which honestly is a lot more fun. Like, yeah, action RPG pretty much. Like, you just kind of go out, you research, you can catch like a whole bunch of Pokemon, and it's just like the battling is also more involved. So you have to actually like throw it, and you can actually catch Pokemon without battling them too, which is really nice. Like, you catch them from the back. There's different zones. Pokemon Legends Arceus is a lot of fun, like really creative. I hope they make more games in like the Pokemon Legends series, if that is a series, because it's really nice. And the classic Pokemon games are still fun, but Legends Arceus really mixed it up, and it's a very good game. And then the next Pokemon game, Pokemon Shield. So this is actually a really good game. I don't know why people hate it so much. I really enjoyed this. I got it back in 2019. Very fun. Unfortunately, I don't know what I did with my cartridge. Yeah. This world is really cool, of course. The whole map here. There's a lot of different areas. The art style is really nice. The music is really good. DLC also is pretty good. I don't remember if I beat all of it, but I got the DLC. The DLC was quite good. So, yeah, this was just a really fun game. I really like the art design. It's sure, like, the graphics weren't the best at times. Like, yeah, if you look at the ground, it's going to look not super great. But that doesn't matter that much. Like, the gameplay just was really fun. And there's quite a lot of stuff to do. It wasn't quite open world yet, but it had, like, the open zones. Sort of like the wild areas. And that was pretty fun, you know. Different types of battle and stuff you could do. That was really cool. So, yeah. And I did also like the customization options. Like, there's a lot of stuff you could customize your character with. So that was nice. Fortunately, like, this stuff was like gender lock, so like if you pick one, you couldn't have like so the others. That was kind of dumb. And they said they were going to get rid of that with Pokemon Violet and Scarlet and Violet, and they did. But then they also like made it where like you only wear the stupid uniform. So I'll get to that. Yeah. So Pokemon Violet. So yeah, I was just talking about like, yeah, they got basically it's like, oh well, we won't lock it anymore. But then basically you just wear a stupid uniform the whole game. And they got rid of all the cool customization options. That's lame. But overall, it's a really good game. This is one kind of like Legends Arceus. It's a lot more open world. Basically, you can do anything in any order. That doesn't mean like sometimes like some things will work super well. You might go somewhere like super powerful and you might be under leveled, or the opposite. But it's really good. You know, open world. Like there's a bunch of more stuff you can do. I don't know if I might still prefer Pokemon Shield, maybe nostalgia. But there's a lot of different stuff you can do. You can do the main quest. There's like different other stuff. I haven't played this one too much since it came out. But it's definitely pretty fun. The graphics, yeah, they aren't the best, but like again, graphics aren't that important. I still think the art style looks quite good, and it did have some performance issues, but I think they have improved that quite a bit, and it works just fine. I've never really ran into any major problems, but it's still a really good game, and I don't know why people need to keep hating on it. So next up, Rankford Adventure. This is kind of like the Switch version of Wii Fit in a way. It's actually really cool, and I have like the ring and all this stuff, like really unique, like the whole ring. And it's basically an RPG, right? It's like an RPG, but you have to like stretch and stuff, and it's very good for working out. I don't play it that much anymore because I would just rather play Just Dance because music and I just find that more fun, but it's definitely very creative. You know, of course, you can use the ring for stretching and a bunch of different stuff, and it really makes you work out. And there's quite a lot of content in this game, and it's surprisingly like really good, and it's definitely unique. You know, Nintendo being Nintendo. I don't know how they came up with the ring idea, but it's pretty cool game. So Sonic Frontiers, it's another one I got around when it released or so. It's a pretty good game. I definitely thought like it did have some problems, and people have pointed that out a lot. But overall, like it's still really fun. I'd say like it's nice to have Sonic in open world. You know, you can a lot of like grinding on different rails and like just like running around. Like the movement is pretty fun. There's so many different like levels and stuff you can do. Sonic 2, I don't know why they're advertising that, but like I definitely think it has some quite good ideas. You know, there's different like sub-worlds and stuff, and they call it open zone, so you know a lot of franchises going like open world or open zone. It's always nice. Definitely like has some problems, but I think this is a very good direction they're going in. So Sonic Mania. So I've heard this is like one of like the best Sonic games. For some reason I just haven't played it that much. I got it for Christmas around like 2 or so years ago, something like that, maybe 3 years ago, I don't know. And it definitely seems pretty cool. You know, it kind of takes like the classic style, a bunch of playable characters doing new stages and like all that different stuff, and it seems pretty cool. I just never really got into it much. I played it like a tiny bit, a few hours at most. I need to go back to it eventually though, but it seems pretty cool. I'm pretty excited for Sonic Superstars to see what that's like. Never really just been that into Sonic for some reason, but it's still a cool series, and this game, I need to go back to it eventually. Splatoon 3. So I always thought the Splatoon series was pretty cool. Some great art here, that's really cool. It's reversible too. I like how the spine is green, that's kind of interesting. I always thought Splatoon was interesting. I never got Splatoon 2 because when I actually had interest in the series, well, 3 was coming out sometime soon. But Splatoon 3 is really good, really fun gameplay. There's a bunch of cool modes. Salmon Run is really fun. Just like the normal modes, Splatfests are always cool, you know, the different themes. Like, there's quite a lot of good content in this game, and I need to play it more often, but this is like probably the favorite shooter game I've ever played, that if it really counts as that. Like, just like, that concept is just so much more interesting. You're trying to splat people, trying to get as much area covered, and also the single player, also very good. Different, like, a bunch of different unique ideas, you know, turn a interesting story too. Like, I'm also very interested to see what the side order DLC is like. I haven't bought the expansion pass yet because like it's just like the city whatever from Splatoon 2, so I don't think it's necessary. It doesn't really add anything actually to the game. But probably once like the side order DLC comes out, I have to get that. And I still have not completed the story mode yet, so I need to do that sometime. So Super Mario 3D All-Stars, it has a lot of problems, but it's some great games. Like, you can't deny Super Mario 64, Super Mario Sunshine, Super Mario Galaxy, some great games. Some people don't like Sunshine. I still think it's a good game. It's the one I played the least, but overall I still say it's good. Super Mario Galaxy, a masterpiece. Super Mario 64, great. Like, this collection is great in a way, because it's three great games. So we knew that they didn't have Galaxy 2, so never understood that. That would have been nice to have. And they didn't do a ton of work. Obviously, it seemed kind of lazy, you know. Super Mario 64 is, like, I think it's like some of them are slightly up-res, you know. Sunshine isn't widescreen, which is nice. Super Mario Galaxy looks really good, but the art style also looked really good originally. And of course, you know, you can use like button controls and stuff, and that's pretty nice. I do like the motion control sometimes, but that's very nice. The whole limited time thing, that was so stupid, and you could still get it for like years after, like physically. Like, I still saw it in stores for quite a while, so I do not understand why they did that. That was just really stupid. But the games themselves are really great. You know, I have played Super Mario Galaxy the most. I have not beaten that yet. I still need to beat Super Mario 64 too. Haven't played Sunshine that much, but they're all really good games. I also like how you can listen to the music, which, like, I'm not really going to use. I'm not going to literally put my Switch in my pocket or carry it around to listen to the music, but it's a nice side feature to have. I'm just going to, like, download it on my phone, because, like, come on, let's be real. No one actually uses their Switch for listening to music, so. But yeah, so not a ton of effort to it, but still 3 great games. So overall, it's still great. It's just sucky, the whole limited time thing. That was just really stupid, and they could have put more effort in as well. Super Mario 3D World plus Bowser's Fury, amazing. Both of these games, some of my favorite games ever. Like, I got this back in February 2021 when it came out. And while 3D World it might not be the most complex or anything. It's just like pure fun, like I was saying with Kirby, but like even more. And especially it's great for multiplayer. I played online. They added online, which wasn't originally in the Wii U version. And Bowser's Fury is short, but it's so good. And just the art style, especially with Bowser's Fury, great. The music in 3D World is some of the best video game music ever. Like seriously, I love that soundtrack. Bowser's Fury, also great soundtrack. Look at this art. This is beautiful. Like this game, it's just so fun. Great for multiplayer. You know, it's like not. It's designed very well where you can play up to 4 people, but it's still fun to play alone. All the worlds is really cool, you know, like there might be basic themes, but it's just like pure fun. There's just so much content, you know, you play through it with each level, each character, and you do all that. Bowser's Fury is just a great side mode. Not super long, but like it's just really fun to replay and just go through and it shines. It's like kind of like open world, and it's a really, really good game. Super Mario Odyssey, another masterpiece. I love this game. I got this game April when I got my Switch. Pretty much this was one of the first games I got for my Switch. Super Mario Odyssey is just amazing. There's so much. I need a Super Mario Odyssey 2. There's so much potential. Just all the capture mechanic is amazing. The worlds, the art style, the music's some of the best ever. The controls are like the best controls of like any game ever. Seriously, the amount of stuff you can do, like cappy jumps and like all the captures, like you can do some crazy trick shots and like some absolutely crazy jumps, so fun to pull off and to see online. Like, and I've always loved like Super Mario Odyssey speedrunning. I did it a little bit, but I love watching that because it's just so interesting. The movement, again, the movement is just insane. The worlds are so cool. Like you have New Donk City, like it's a human city. Why? I don't know. It's so cool, and the capture is so cool. Like amazing mechanic that like definitely could be used more. We need a Super Mario Odyssey 2 because there's so much potential. Like seriously. And then assist mode, doesn't really use that. It's fine, doesn't really do much. You can, you know, play with 2 players, but like that's not really multiplayer. It's mostly just single player. And then also, yeah, the music again, great. Jump Up Superstar, great. Although Break Free Lead the Way is really great song. I definitely think that's better. You know, the ending sequence, any sequence is just insane. Like Super Mario Odyssey is just amazing. I need to get back into it. I was trying to 100% it at one point. I have like 800 or something moons. And then also like Darker Side's really tough. There's Dark Side. It's such a great game, and I would love Super Mario Odyssey 2. That's like my most wanted game ever. So please, Nintendo, give us that. Almost done with my collection. So Smash Bros. Ultimate, just a great fighting game. Best fighting game I've ever played. My favorite fighting game I've ever played. I got this game with my Switch. This was the very first game I played on my Switch. And I played it quite a lot back then, and it's a great game. But for some reason, I haven't really gone back to it much since then. Like, this is definitely, like, fun with, like, friends and stuff. I just haven't really felt like playing that much. And, like, of course, there's, like, the DLC characters. I mean, everyone is here. Like, there's so many fighters, and, like, I usually make Kirby. It's pretty fun. A lot of great courses and stuff. Overall, it's just a really great game. Adventure mode, it's fine. I didn't get super much into that. You just kind of do a bunch of, like, battles and go around the map. It's whatever, but I mean, it's a great game. Just the fact that like, they got like everyone is here, like everyone from past Smash games, like that's awesome. And there's just a ton of great characters and new characters, and it's a really good, and it's just like a really good game. I just unfortunately just kind of got bored of it, but I definitely get why people can play this a lot, especially with friends and you know online and stuff, which is really fun. Just kind of got bored of it, but I should go back to it sometime. Finally, last but not least, the last Switch game in alphabetical order, Terraria. So I got this on Switch a few years ago. I played this a bit, like, I think on Xbox, this one Cabin Place, and then maybe on mobile something, but I couldn't get into this that much. Like, it's a really cool game, and, like, I have, like, some nostalgia for it, because, like, I played it a bit, like, this, camp place we used to go to, but I played for a few hours. I don't know if it was just because I was on Switch. It was just complicated, and, like, I don't know if it just didn't work super good on the Switch or whatever, but like, I definitely think it's a pretty good, cool game. Like, the music's really good, the art style is really good, and there's a lot to it, but I just never really got super deep into this. So yeah, those are literally all my Switch games. It's kind of crazy. I have like almost 20 or something physical Switch games. I love the Switch. It's just a great console. So many great games. I have so much memories of just playing these games, and definitely hope to get more. I'm getting Pikmin 4 soon. Definitely going to pick up a bunch of new upcoming games this year. Switch is just amazing, and so many great games. Yeah, hope you enjoyed. Let me know what your thoughts are, what's your favorite Switch games, and see you in the next video.